Hello, MTG Burgeoning community and YouTube viewing audience. If you are still a part of the latter and you have not joined the former, you can change it all right now by clicking the subscribe button below. When you do, you become eligible for this channel's rewards series, all of which you can peruse in the description below. It's Friday, and that means our longest running series continues. This is the Kitchen Table series, and today is Deck Tech number 29, and you are going to feel the burn. Hello and welcome back, fans of MTG Burgeoning, fans of all things Magic. Today is Kitchen Table Series Friday. We are about to unleash deck number 29, and in today's video, we are going to take a look at a mono red burn deck. You are going to feel the burn of this deck. It's a very unique take on exactly what direct damage can do in red. So let us begin. And as is generally customary with the Kitchen Table series, we are going to first take a look at our land base. We're in mono red, so we're going to run nothing but basic mountains. And there are going to be 21 of them. 21 basic mountains to start this deck tech off. But that's not where we're stopping with our mana. This is Kitchen Table, so bam, one copy of Soul Ring. Soul Ring is in there, baby. We need that Soul Ring. Not only are you going to feel the burn of this mono red direct damage deck, but we're going to get off to a quick start. We want our mana flying out of our hands to cast these spells and end the game as quickly as possible, because the game-ending spells that are included in this deck and how we're going to pull off our wins, well, they're going to melt our opponent's faces. So let's start with one playset of Pyretic Ritual. For 1 and a red, it gives us 3 red. So we invest 2 red mana to get 1 more red one back. 4 copies, Pyretic Ritual. And that will be an important spell to cast, because if our hand is fortunate enough to have a Pyretic Ritual, and we tap 2 to get 3 red, and we use that 3 red for, I don't know, maybe casting a Seething Song for 2 and a red, we get 5 red, and we're definitely going to play with a full playset of Seething Song. So that's the mana in the deck, folks. 21 basic mountains, 1 Soul Ring, 4 copies of Pyretic Ritual, 4 copies of Seething Song. Now let's look at the creatures in this deck. Wait. I thought we were doing direct damage. I thought this was mono red burn. Oh, there's going to be burn, baby. There's going to be direct damage. But we're not just going to sit back and cast lightning bolts or, what's that one? No shocks or kindles, or I can't remember that one Kamigawa spell is the sorcery for 1 red. It deals 3 damage. Anyways, we're not just sitting back and casting a bunch of instants and sorceries to win our game. No. Let's introduce the creatures to this Can You Feel the Burn deck. 1 full playset of a goblin all the way from back in Stronghold. 4 copies of Mog Maniac. For 1 and a red, it's a 1/1 goblin, and whenever Mog Maniac is dealt damage, it deals an equal amount of damage to target opponent. 4 copies of Mog Maniac. Put them right here. Next up, as our CMC cost for our creatures slowly increase, we're going to Modern Horizons, and we're going to include a playset of Spiteful Sliver. 2 and a red, it's a 2/2, and Sliver creatures we control have, whenever this creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target player or planeswalker. 4 copies, Spiteful Sliver. And I hope at this point you're beginning to see the trend of what we want our creatures to be doing in this deck. Same CMC, we're going to Original Gatecrash for 4 copies of full playset of Boros Reckoner. Yes, we do have the hybrid Boros mana symbols for this creature, But make no mistake about it, this deck is all red, so we don't have to worry about there being any splashes of white. This is just all red. It's a 3/3, and whenever Boros Reckoner is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to target creature or player. Plus, for a red, or in other instances, also for a white, Boros Reckoner gains first strike until end of turn. One playset of Boros Reckoner. That's 4 copies. Next up, and here we are going to Spite-Mare. Again, the hybrid Boros mana symbols is not a problem for us because we're straight red. Spite-Mare is a 3/3, and whenever it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target creature or player. 4 copies of Spite-Mare. And to finish off the creatures in this deck, we are going to include at this time, and we're going to come back to that italicized statement after we introduce our 2 copies of Stuffy Doll. It's 5 colorless, and it's a 0/1, and when it enters the battlefield, you choose a player. Stuffy Doll is indestructible, and whenever Stuffy Doll is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to the chosen player. We can turn Stuffy Doll sideways and deal 1 damage to itself. Now, from our foreshadowing from just a couple moments ago, at this time, Stuffy Doll is in this deck. However, I want to make it painstakingly clear to everyone. Stuffy Doll's time in this deck is ticking away because Brash Taunter from Core Set 2021 is going to go into this deck and it's going to do so much more damage because it is a Stuffy Doll. It's a 0/1. It's 4 in a red. So the CMC is the same. The power toughness is the same. It's also indestructible. But instead of tapping itself to deal 1 point of damage to itself, you can have the taunting, the brashing, whatever the name of the taunting brasher, whatever the heck, what was his name? I just said is the taunting, the creature that's going to replace this can fight another creature. So the damage that could be dealt to the taunting brasher, the brashing taunter, oh my goodness, seriously, just had him in my mind. He can fight that creature and then deal that damage. So Stuffy Doll is only in here because taunting brasher, whatever his name is, because he's not in there yet. So those are the creatures. We got 18 creatures that when they're dealt damage, they're going to deal that damage to our opponents. Keeping in mind that these creatures are going to act as great combat deterrents for our opponents. That is until they see what we're trying to accomplish with all of these creatures on the battlefield. Now that you've met the creatures of this Can You Feel the Burn mono red kitchen table deck, let's look at some of the spells. We're not playing with just creatures. We have a handful of spells that we're going to include. 12 of them, and here are the first 4. 1 playset of Lightning Bolts. Early game turns could produce some troublesome or problematic creatures for us, so tapping a mountain and getting a red mana and casting Lightning Bolt will help take care of any of those creatures without any problems. Next up is going to be a full playset of Chain Reaction. 2 and 2 red, Chain Reaction deals X damage to each creature, where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. 4 copies of Chain Reaction. And lastly, the card that's going to act as our finisher, 4 copies, a full playset of Blasphemous Act. Sorcery for 8 in red. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield, and Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to each creature. So if we slide the playset of Blasphemous Act over just out of the range of the camera, and we look down at our 18 different creatures that deal damage to our opponents when they're dealt damage, and we look at the math and look at how Blasphemous Act over here deals 13 damage to a creature, well, if you're one-on-one with an opponent and you have 2 creatures in play, guess what? The game is over, folks, because that's 26 points of damage right to their face. And that is what this mono red Can You Feel the Burn deck is trying to do. We want to destroy our opponents through our own creatures, while at the same time using our creatures as combat deterrent so that our opponents don't try to whittle down our life total before we can set up a game-ending chain reaction or a game-ending blasphemous act. Another nice card that you could include in this deck is Star of Extinction, the sorcery that destroys target land and deals 20 damage to each creature and planeswalker. That will finish the game as well. And that's the deck, folks. That is 60 cards of a different kind of take on mono red direct damage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is MTG Burgeoning, and you are watching the Kitchen Table Series. This is Deck Tech number 29. All right, so why don't we take this Can You Feel the Burn kitchen table deck for a couple of quick spins so that we can show exactly what we plan to do to the faces of our opponents. Now, for a deck like this, it's not necessary that we have to worry about our opponent's creatures, as long as they don't become too plentiful by the time we set up shop with some of our direct damage creatures. I mean, a timely lightning bolt here or there should be enough to thwart any creatures that become overly troublesome or problematic for us. Plus, once we get to the 2 mana, we drop down a Mog Maniac, and if they decide to attack into us and we need to, there's always the potential to just block it and have some damage dealt through that interaction. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Kitchen Table Series. Deck Tech 29. Are you kidding me? So the next time we sit down for a kitchen table deck, it's going to be number 30. Wow. Oh, there he is. The man of the hour. The originator, the Mog Maniac. There's our Soul Ring. Come on, land. Oh, we got this, baby. Oh, come on. Give us the Pyretic Ritual. Give us the Blasphemous Act. All right, Spite Mirror, that's not terrible. This is an excellent start. We keep this hand easily. Turn 1, we draw Mountain into Soul Ring. We're not going to debate it, folks. There's nothing else to debate. That's the only thing we could have played. Come on now, people. What are we doing? All right, turn 2. We draw. Oh, Seething Anger. Oh, boy. All right. We're going to drop down that Mountain. Let's cast that Spite Mirror. Whoosh. 3/3 on turn 2. That'll stop some attackers. There we go. Bam. Turn number 3. Here we go. We got our hand. All kinds of mana. And we're drawing a Boros Reckoner. All right. We're dropping down a Mountain. And I think we are going to put out... let's say we put out, let's be degenerate. Let's go Mountain into our Soul Ring, casting Seething Song for 5 red mana, casting a Boros Reckoner and a Mog Maniac. Turn 3, that's not bad. We can even swing in with our Spite Mirror and expect there to be some damage done. Nice. This is what it's all about. Turn 4. Here it is, right here. This will be either our chain reaction. Well, hopefully we want our Blasphemous Act. We draw a Spite Sliver. Not bad. So we got 5 mana at our disposal. I think we're going to just empty out. Let's tap 2, get 3 from the Pyretic Ritual, and then we'll tap for this Mountain for 4, and then 5, 6, and we're going to drop down a second Spite Mirror and a Spiteful Sliver. This is turn 4, and we're coming with 3, 6, 9, 12 power on the battlefield. Of course, our hand is empty, but all we need to do is to draw that Blasphemous Act, and the game is over. Turn 5, this is the money turn. Here it is. Bam! Oh, Mountain. Okay. Turn 6. Bam! Pyretic Ritual. Oh, no. Turn 7. Oh, Stuffy Doll. Turn 8, Pyretic Ritual, and turn 9, Boros Reckoner. So if we were going to have any success or any semblance of trying to win this game, it was going to be through combat and through defense, because we needed to draw one of our 8 mass removal spells, and unfortunately we drew 0 of them. Oh, what a poor showing on this first play testing. I am unsatisfied, but I am undeterred as well. Let's try it again. Alright, so although we may have been successful in winning that first game through the playtesting, that's not the way in which we want to win it. We need to draw a chain reaction or a blasphemous act as a way in which to just end the game with 1 spell. We don't really want to get involved in a turn-for-turn combat scenario, because eventually, well, 2 points here, 3 points there, 4 points there may not be enough to whittle down our table full of opponents. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so this play test will be better. Seething Song and a mountain. Good start. Another mountain. All right, it's a lot of mana. Oh, no. Mana Flood. Oh, there's our chain reaction. Oh, but we have no creatures. Spitting Sliver. Oh, I really don't want to keep this hand. Let's do it anyways. Right? Why not? It's not like there's anything at stake. All right, turn 1. Boom! Mountain. Doe. Turn 2. There we go. Mog Fanatic. I'm sorry, Mog Maniac, not the Mog Fanatic. Yikes. I got Mogs on the brain. Turn 3. We draw another one. Oh, yeah. Let's put out into play a nice Spiteful Sliver. Oh, actually, let's not do that. Let's pull that back. Cast a Seething Song into a Spiteful Sliver and then into a Mog Maniac. What are we doing here? Come on, baby. All right. Blasphemous Act would give us the game if it's a 1v1. Spitemare's all right. Let's tap 3. We'll cast our Seething Song, and we'll put a Spitemare out in play. All right. Come on, baby. Worst case scenario, we could probably chain reaction. Drawing a card. Mountain. All right, so we got two 1/1s, a 2/2, and a 3/3. So we can probably hold out for another turn or two before things start to become a little too pressurized. Draw, mountain. Come on. 7, draw, mountain. Turn 8, draw. There's the Blasphemous Act, but we're at turn 8. We cast it, but is it enough to do enough damage to wipe out our opponents? Oh, I'm not so sure. Come on, can you feel the burn? Can you do it for us? Let's try it again. All right, so with the relative, lack of synergy so far with getting these creatures into play early and then wiping them out and dealing direct damage to our opponents through a Blasphemous Act or a chain reaction, it seems it may be a good idea that we, maybe reevaluate the creatures in the deck and get rid of perhaps the playset of Spitemare, and in its place put in a Star of Extinction. I mean, that's, we're going from a 4 CMC creature spell to a 7 CMC win the game upon casting, and we've demonstrated the ability to show that we can get the mana. I mean, we've got 8 instant spells in here that generate red mana, so perhaps that might be a consideration to make if this 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If this series of play testing continues to go unsuccessfully. Yeah. 1 and a Pyretic Ritual. Oh no, we can't keep this hand. All right, let's shuffle this bad boy up. So perhaps that may be a good investment in change. Maybe this Can You Feel the Burn mono red deck may find its way in the Up and Up series sometime in the future as we update and or upgrade the cards as a way in which to make it synergize even more. There is a certain red god from Kelmheim floating around out there that would make this deck even better. Torralf? It's only a matter of time until a playset of you is in this deck. Boros Reckoner, Mountain. There's our Blasphemous Act. Here we go. Now give us a nice Pyretic Ritual. And that's not terrible. We will shuffle back the Chain Reaction. Chain Reaction is a good inclusion into this deck. My metagame is very tribal and token heavy. So to have a couple of players in front of me casting multiple goblins or elves or creating some slivers or just human or soldier creature tokens, casting that Chain Reaction with a couple of creatures in play on my side, it can easily wipe out the board and deal about 10-12 damage to each of my opponents. Alright, so let's do it. Let's get this play testing. Let's get it done. Here we go. Turn 1. Revealing the card we shuffled back in. Oh no! Ooh, Seething Song could be nice. Alright, turn 3. And we are drawing a Lightning Bolt, which we will tap 3. We will put the Boros Reckoner out there. We will untap. Turn 4, we draw Mogmaniac. That's what we like to see. So we're going to tap for 3. We're going to Seething Song for 5, putting in a Spiteful Sliver and a Mogmaniac. We untap. And we straighten up the battlefield. We tap. We turn to turn 5. Another Mogmaniac. So if we do a little bit of math here, and we're playing against 2 other opponents, let's say each of those opponents each have, by turn 5, 2 creatures each. So that's 2 and 4. 2 and 2 for 4, and we have 3 for 7. So we'll tap 2, we'll cast Mogmaniac to put creature number 8 onto the battlefield. And then Blasphemous Act's mana cost is reduced by 8 because of those creatures. We cast a Blasphemous Act. We deal 13 to every creature. Opponent 1 takes 26. Opponent 2 takes 26. And on the third play testing, turn 5, we have what we were trying to get. Can you feel the burn? Mono red. Kitchen Table Series deck tech number 29, baby. 29 MTG Burgeoning is out.